so I learned.
Excuse me,
I learned.
Jay, excuse me 1 second. I'm recording this just so we have this for posterity, so we can go back and review your comments as we go. So um,
Yeah.
Zoom does that automatically, so I can send you a recording of it too. So anyway,
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Um,
sorry to interrupt you.
yeah, no worries. Um, so Hunter, I learned a lot about when we built the new website for the Lafayette Hotel, and the lawyer in me just wants to break things down sequentially. So if you were to take the Are You Ready website, there's the cover page, there's pictures on it, there's links on it, and then when you click a link, it goes to a different page. So I'm really looking for some guidance, and then based on the I Am Second website that Andy and I both think is very well done. It's another Christian ministry website. We wanted to model our makeover kind of on that, similar ingredients. It doesn't have to be complex. It's, we have testimonials that we will get. We've got a vision statement. We have music for people to download. We might have some ministries we support, some suggested books to read. So I'm really looking for a technician and a creative like yourself and with Steve to tell me what would it cost to kind of upgrade this thing, and how would we do it sequentially? What would happen? Do you show me pages one at a time? What you think? How do we approach this upgrade to the areyoureadyforjesus.com website?
Okay, so I have the I Am Second website and the Are You Ready for Jesus website both pulled up, and I can see like the I Am Second one is quite modern, I guess you could say, and it has like kind of more up to date design and like responsiveness.
Hunter,
The
can
other
you
one is
share your screen?
yeah. I can
Can
share
you
my
put
screen.
put them up there, because that way we can I can follow your thought.
All right, so screen 2. All right, do you see this?
So far, so good.
There we
All
are.
right,
Okay,
all
good.
right. Let me move this over. All right, so there's this one. I've taken a look at both of these sites like quite extensively, and
hmm
I agree. I think this site is actually quite clean. The I'm Second.
hmm
But
hmm
I have a question for you. Like, are you guys basically the same type of I guess you could say, like, are you and I Am Second kind of doing the same thing, or do they do something slightly different than what you guys do? So like, what is the difference between you guys and I Am Second?
Well, I think that's a very good question, and I think that when it comes to music, when it comes to testimonials, when it comes to people's faith journeys, I think there's similarities there. But whoever started I Am Second, the thought behind that is obviously we're not first. God is first. Jesus is first if you're a Christian. And we are second. But our world tells us that it's all about us. So from that standpoint, I Am Second, that's probably the origin. Are You Ready came to me, as you saw from the vision statement, and I have a much more in-depth one that I've written because I'm working on finishing a book called Are You Ready, that I have a few of the first chapters finished. So I guess similar, good question, Hunter. I think similar, pointing our lives to something greater than ourselves. In I Am Second, it's living not with ourself always in the forefront. For Are You Ready, it's like, what are you getting ready for each day that has real eternal value? That makes sense?
Yeah. That makes sense. So basically what I'm getting is that the structure of these sites would be quite similar, but the overall message, you guys are coming from like a different approach than they are. So that would tie into like the overall like content and like headings like across the site. So like it'd be kind of like the same branding, same messaging that you guys have here, but you guys want it
Mhm.
with this more modern design.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like if you go across the top of each one of the sites, like that one right there, I am second. That line across there, I
Hmm.
guess I would ask you, do all of our things fit into those things? We're obviously not going to have live second.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll have a blog. We'll try a blog. Game time, we don't need that. Crew, yes, I guess we did have a blog. Read, listen. I don't know. Oh, and the clothing. Yeah, so they are similar in terms of what do you call those things, Hunter? The big things at the top that you click. What are those
Well,
called?
this is the header or the nav bar of the page.
Okay.
So you'd call this the
Okay.
navigation bar, and these are kind of like buttons that
Okay.
link to uh,
Yeah.
websites that go deeper on those
Okay. So,
topics.
all right. Well, the navigation bars seem to be similar. So I would just ask you if, do we need to add something different, or are we going to
Mm.
be pretty much the same?
So
To pour our content into those navigation bar links.
okay, so that's a good question. So the way that I've kind of learned is the best approach to have when you're doing stuff like this is you want to have like the process of like elimination where you want to have the most important things be on the nav bar, and then do you see like this drop down right here? You
Mm-hmm.
want to like utilize stuff like this because the how do I put this? Uh, the less content there is on the page, the better because it allows people to focus on the important things. So on your guys' existing website, there is like quite a bit of stuff in a small box, right? So the reason I believe that I Am Second website looks so clean in comparison to your guys's is because as you could tell, there's a lot of space in between like buttons and content. And they use a lot of white space, which I think when we go into like thinking about the nav bar on your guys' new website, we'd have to have that same approach where instead of having everything centered, like you see how this is all centered in the middle of the site, is quite small.
Mm-hmm.
We would kind of
Mm-hmm.
stretch everything out and make use of more space. And then also, I'll give you an example right here. Their site does a good job of when you go on different screen sizes, they make it responsive for those different like experiences. So if you go like
Mm-hmm.
even what I'm doing right now, you see how it's smaller. This is what it would look like
Yeah,
on like a phone. So they
I
make
see.
really good
Right, right.
use. And your guys' existing site doesn't have the same type of mobile responsiveness that a site like this
That's
does.
what we need.
Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, especially I would say probably like 7 out of 10 website visits on average are from like a phone. So it's quite
Yep.
important to have that in mind. But
I'm writing down mobile responsiveness is key.
yeah, that's a huge part of like websites
Okay.
nowadays is that.
Yep.
But overall, I mean, it just really depends on your guys' goals and what content you think is necessary to be on the website. Uh like if you because like when I first visited this site, I got a little bit more confusion by the navigation bar. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know by collection, I would probably switch that to shop just because
Yep.
that's like a universal language of like buying things. Listen is good, read is good, and then blog is good. And then for serve, I think this actually would be if this is like an important part, um, you could have this be like a button. uh I the way I kind of like to look at websites is more of a you want to lead people to a place, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if somebody's on the homepage, there has to be some sort of goal with somebody visiting the website, and like people call this like whatever, like a conversion. But on their site, their conversion is kind of getting people to donate or log in, it seems like. But for you guys, we'd have to figure out like what is the goal that you're trying to serve with this website, and then we would probably have that call to action kind of up here in the right hand corner. So like, is there some sort
Mm-hmm.
of like way somebody could sign up for this community? Is there like what is the if I'm not in this, if I don't know what this is, but I want to become a part of your guys' kind of like collective, how would I go from being a stranger visiting your website to uh becoming kind of
Hmm.
like a consumer or like a part of the group?
Sure. Well, that's a good question. Since we're not a 501c3 yet, we will be at some point. This is right now, I guess it's more informational, but I'd be open to thoughts on how, like you say, what could we offer somebody to become engaged? Maybe it's local events to through Hope Leadership, how they could volunteer. Or maybe we could do that, serve or use volunteer, and maybe keep up to date with activities that we support where they could, when COVID gets different,
Yeah, when that's over.
and they could go out and serve. But yeah, drawing them in and pointing them to what we want them to do is a good thing. And we can't take donations at this point, but I'd be open to your thoughts on that as we move down the road.
Well, Jay, one of the call to actions is there is going to be a limited e-commerce component here, correct?
You mean the shirts?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one of the call to actions. You know, you sell
It'd be like
shirts,
the shop section.
the shop section. The other thing would be, you know, it's missionarial. You know, so the mission, it's, you know, it seems to me from listening to this that one of the call to actions is to join the mission. You know, you're a missionary. You know, all of us are Christians. You're taking it to the next level by, you know, putting resources where your mouth is, and you're trying to bring in.
Yes,
You know,
I think what I think would be a good way to structure the site is to have a button on the upper right hand corner that says like join us, so that if someone's visiting the site and they're kind of like, because there has to be some sort of call to action, in my opinion, with the modern format. I think it should be join us, and then it takes them to a page with links of ways to go deeper. Maybe it's like a Facebook page. It's whatever way you guys want to have a way for people to connect, like more than just visiting the website. I think we could have a page like that, and then also on the join us page, we could have another section linking to the shop section, because I think you click this button, it says join now. This is how you join their community, but we could just have our own page with all the different ways that you could kind of like become connected.
Well, and like to that point, yeah, that's a good thought. Maybe the join us is we register them so they become part of our you know, website family. But maybe join us includes pointing them to volunteer events. Maybe it's maybe it's them telling us about an experience they had getting ready for something where the Lord spoke to them.
Oh, I see.
You know, maybe there was something they realized they were getting ready for, and then something happened in terms of their relationship with God, and that would be like a sharing story. Because the testimonials they have on I Am Second, we can get people. Do you know who Bob Goff is, or Brian Jennings? Do you know those names?
I've heard Brian Jennings.
Brian Jennings had a ministry called Walking on Water, probably 10 different movies, mostly catering to the surf community. He reached millions of people over 20 years till he shut the ministry down last year. But Brian would be a video testimonial. Bob Goff, who wrote Love Does, and other bestsellers, would be a testimonial. I know Bob, I know Brian. So, you know, getting testimonials from the average person about how they view the concept of readiness, because people love to share things about their life experiences. Bottom line is, join us, I think, is a good concept to explore, because it gets them to click a button and it gets us to point them in a way to do meaningful things.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it. I agree. I think that would require like some thought, obviously, into like how exactly it'd be done, but I definitely think that that would be a good way to structure the site and like the overall flow of the website. And if that's the call to action, then we would have, as people scroll, like I kind of like to call, like when you have more when you have the call to action like throughout the website, you can just like pepper it in on different pages. So like it's a very like that's the main focus of the site, is to get people to, you know, join us, right? So
Yes.
have that across the website. But then also I think a big aspect of the site that I think that you might be interested in is the blog section, but making
Yes.
it easy for you guys to upload on your end the content. So like I went on here and your guys' blog is um quite outdated. Like there hasn't been an update in like 8 years. And
Oh, I know.
I'm assuming that is probably because it's like a pain to get a blog post up. I don't know what you guys
Yep.
use for this site. It's probably like WordPress or uh
Yep.
so I use Webflow for the blogging side of the website stuff. So I'm assuming you don't know what that is. Do you know what Webflow
I
is?
don't. I don't. But help me understand it, and also tell me, Hunter, because I've never blogged. But if we redid this, I would make a point of blogging more regularly. What is a blog? What would a blog look like? You click blog, and what does a person see?
Okay, so this is the main what a blog mainly is, and it is for ranking on Google for certain terms. So let's just say you Google, you want to know something, and then you Google some sort of question like what, how does this work, whatever. What you're seeing on Google on the page of all these pages that are like these articles, those are blog articles. So what we do is you create like web content in the format that you're trying to get people who are searching for a certain keyword or term on Google to be directed to your content. And then your content is written in a way that provides value to those people searching for that information. So it allows you to get traffic from Google and people to basically discover you that way. And then it's also a way for people who already know who you are or and already a part of your community. It's a way for you to, you can link people from your social media pages back to your website so that they're able to consume that piece of content within your website, because that type of
Uh-huh.
content format cannot be posted on certain social medias just due to restrictions of social media. And like on Instagram, it can only be an image and whatever, like a caption. With a blog, you can be fully creative with how it's written. So
But how does it work? It sounds very complicated. So would I want to blog on a weekly basis? What if I didn't blog for a month? Does blogging just help bring your website up uh, in a search more quickly or something?
that is okay. So I'll give you the I am second website as an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah. Okay.
So you see their blog, they have it in this format. So here's how we know God cares about your city. So I don't think this one, okay, so this one might rank how not to be a jerk online. So
Uh-huh.
they're obviously trying to get people to discover them. And this like, let's just say I don't want to be a jerk online. This is supposed to be a post that gives me some sort of information on how to do that. So if somebody's
Okay.
googling this, they're getting people who are not even looking for I am second. They're not even, they're probably not even interested in,
Oh,
you get what I'm
I
saying?
see.
And it redirects them to this to their cause or
I
whatever they're looking for.
see.
So it's a really really powerful tool, and I can help you out with it. It's not too difficult to get into once you like understand the basics of it. But yeah, I would
Uh-huh.
give you a tool. It's really easy. It takes like I've never had a client take longer than like 15 minutes to learn how to use the content management system that I use for blogging.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
basically you'd be able to use it to upload content like that. Like you'd be able to add images and you'd be able to whatever, create a heading and write
And would it
content.
be something, is it like, Hunter, if I come across a scripture that I want to share with people that is consistent with being ready. Or an event, let's just say somebody fails miserably at something in society, a racer, and they make an admission that they didn't get ready.
Yeah.
I could blog about that, and just putting that out there in the blog world could potentially drive business to the website.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
I see.
the thing is with blogging is that if you create a post that is a highly searched term, right? So I'll use an example. Like a lot of people did this with the coronavirus or like COVID, is they use it as a way to push their news outlet or whatever up in the algorithm. Is because everybody was searching for it. So whoever provided the most relevant information on that topic got the most traffic to their website. So
Interesting.
people do that a lot with trends, but also there are random things that people search for like daily. And if you're creating posts that are solving a particular problem that someone may have, you can I'll tie back to the join us call to action. That person could visit the blog, but then within the blog, if the way that the blog is written kind of like basically paints your whatever are you ready for Jesus as the thing that as something that could help them, you can bring the call to action to the blog so that somebody who's reading it might actually become a member of your guys' community or somebody who's who might buy something from you, you know? So
Well, I generally get the concept, but let's not stay on this too long, because here's what I'd like to do. I understand enough to be dangerous on the blog issue. I understand enough to see the importance of it. So how about when we get to the point of doing the architecture of the new site, you have the blog there, and then you can take some time with me and say, hey, Jay, do your first blog and maybe use this as a subject.
Yeah.
And then you walk me through how to do it. But I get the importance of it because it's primarily to direct traffic. But just know that I think it's important. I've written it down along with mobile responsiveness and join us.
Well, it's not the first thing on our list to solve here, but
yeah.
But
I went off on a little bit of a
I like it.
hole,
I appreciate it, Hunter. I appreciate it.
The last thing I want to say is the way I look at this is you should write what you think is important, Jay. You know, like if it's a scripture, people can tie back to that. Yeah, I don't think you want to write content directly for SEO. You want to write it because
exactly. You want to write something that you personally like. I look at it this way: you want to write something that your past self would find useful, and the way you put the headings or whatever. Obviously, if your goal is to get traffic from Google, you want to write it in a certain way, and I can help you with that, and that's not difficult. But that's kind of how you look at it. Like you can write a blog any way that you really want, but there's a way that you do it that drives traffic that is like really powerful.
Well, you guys can help me with that once we get everything built.
Gotcha.
Now let's talk about the architecture now and the content of the website.
Okay. So
and so this is kind of what I was thinking, and tell me if I'm wrong. I'm kind of thinking that once I have a proposal from you guys, that the way we do this, Hunter, is you and I get on the phone and we do this page by page for the website, and you say, Jay, does this stay or go? Are you going to add something to this? And then you're like a contractor who's rehabbing an old building, and you're asking the owner, do you want me to tear this wall out? Do you want me to add this door here? But we go through every page, and I tell you, no longer like that store that you just had there. Mm-hmm. We're not at Mossy anymore. That should be taken off unless we want to put it as something to show what we did before, but not lead people to believe it's still going on. Then we go to the clothing thing, because I can tell you most of the clothing is going away except 2 shirts and hats. We're going to keep it very simple. So I was kind of thinking that now that I kind of want to follow the I Am Second format, you end up coming back to me and walking me through our current website, and you say stay or go. Does that sound like the way part of the process works?
Okay, so we could do it that way, but there could be a like a slightly more efficient way of doing the site. So
Okay.
the way I kind of like to work is I like to get like as good of an idea of what you want and are going for as possible, and then draft up some sort of like prototype for what the website could be, so that you get kind of like a
Uh-huh.
just enough so that you have like a clear idea of, yes, I want it to go more in this direction, or no, I want it to go more in that direction, right?
Okay.
So
Yep.
that's what I do, and then I usually take the content that's already present on your existing website and kind of like reframe it in the new format. And obviously we can change that content, but since you guys already have like a whole lot of content on here, it could be quite easy for me to get like the overall structure and then use these as like placeholders. So that way we have like a base to work off of. Because I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what you're going for, but obviously I even think there's ways that we can improve on the I Am Second website. So
Sure.
like I see
Well,
this.
go back to that main page of the site and of my old site, of my existing
Okay.
site, and I so hold that right there. So I get what you're saying, and I get the efficiency. I always want to be more efficient, but like that picture of Listen, that picture is not even going to be on the future website.
Okay.
So I would be wondering, why would you even drag that over to a new prototype? It's almost like, to me, it's better if you and I go through the Are You Ready, and I tell you one picture at a time, one page at a time, yes, no, like all these pictures that scroll. I like all of those.
Okay.
I'm going to have change a couple, but I think that's powerful, those scrolling pictures of people getting ready. Like, I love that picture. So maybe we're saying the same thing, but I don't think you should export all the content on here to your new prototype, because I'd rather see a slimmed down prototype with the navigation thing up top, kind of how you see the homepage working, and then say, okay, Jay, let's decide what we're going to bring in from the old website.
Gotcha.
No,
So
to that point, I don't think what you're talking about, Jay, as far as what walls to bust down and what to haul away, shouldn't take that long. I mean,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
exactly.
so either. I can point and shoot, because we're going to have a lot of blanks. We're going to have a testimonial with nothing in it until Andy and I get people to give their video testimonial, and you help me upload it. So I think it's going to be very streamlined to start with, but it will have the right links, as you say, Hunter, to go to the. Yeah, I don't think it'd take long for us to go through this. There aren't that many pages, probably 20 pages in this whole website.
Yeah, I would
I don't
say
know.
that there is content on this site that could be useful to repurpose, right?
Yep.
Obviously not a lot of it, but there are still things in here. So I could use this as a reference while building the new site, just for the sake of content, like the text, some of the images, obviously like the branding and like the colors and whatnot. Uh,
well,
but
look, hold on. Let's talk about the
Like the
branding.
crew right there.
mhm.
That I'll probably keep that picture of my daughter, but my crew is a much larger family. Andy's family will include his wife, so we'll change those pictures. We'll change our bios. Probably not have the word crew.
Yeah, we
You'll
could
think of
probably have
something
like
different.
Now, from
the
our
family or
first,
something.
we had I had a note here, Jay. We talked a few weeks back about getting rid of the nautical theme and getting rid of the anchor and that kind of stuff, and just using the RUE as for branding. Is that correct?
Thank you for saying that. And yes, Hunter, the RU Red E is what we're going with. We're going to eliminate the anchor. that's going to come off. So basically what's up there on the left-hand side, we're going to keep it simple. We had all these designs and everything. We're going to go back. If this website's going to fly, it's because people, kind of like Ruka, 4 letters was unbelievably successful. The purpose here is to get people to focus on these letters R, U, and the red E, and get people to go, are you ready? Are you ready for what? That's our in, Hunter. When we wear these hats that have RUE on them, where we have I'm wearing a sweatshirt that says RUE on the front. People say, what is RUE? Are you ready? And they say, are you ready for what? And we go, well, what are you getting ready for today? And they tell you. And then it's an opportunity to interact with people about, I mean, if you knew the statistics, I've researched this, there's probably 27 times today that you're going to get ready for something, and 5 of the things you get ready for, you're going to wish you didn't, statistically. So what's the most important thing that I think that we all get ready for is when we close our eyes for the last time and we stand face to face with the one who created us. Now, I know that's a leap of faith for people who don't believe in God, have their own visions, but as a Christian, it's critical to me to get people to think about something other than the usual getting ready for stuff every day, of which we need to. But what's the most important aspect of getting ready? So with that thought, maybe you can be thinking, well, okay, what's the hook here? Are you ready? And all those pictures that scroll on the website, we put those up there. I mean, guys don't do those kind of jumps. Guys don't surf those kind of waves. Guys don't jump off cliffs without thinking, am I ready? And certainly when you see a tombstone, there's no more getting ready. You're done. And if you believe what I believe, and I don't know your faith, Hunter, but what Steve believes, we're going to face God and give an accounting of our life. And our life is going to, the accounting of our life and whether we put our faith in Jesus Christ will determine where we spend eternity. To me, that's the heaviest thought I've come to in my life so far. So, yes, that's a long-winded way of saying, responding to Steve, that the R, the U, and the E is one of 3 trademarks we have. We're just going to keep that one going forward, so you don't need to worry about the anchor.
Okay.
Well spoken,
I gotcha.
well spoken, Jay. Thank you. That was good.
Yeah.
You got me motivated.
Good.
What about the nautical theme, the waves and that kind of stuff, the ocean?
Okay.
I'm open to suggestions from guys like you that are more creative than myself. Obviously, the ocean is a huge thing to me. It's big, expansive. It speaks of a creator. But I've also got guys jumping off cliffs and guys on motorcycles and guys jumping off 1,000-foot precipices on snowboards. So the nautical theme, I didn't think of it as a nautical theme, Steve, until you said something. But I was more looking for pictures that cry out, "Oh, this guy, he better be ready."
Right.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think
So I'm open to backgrounds and all of that.
I think the thing is your site right here feels very nautical, I guess you could say, because the background is a huge wave.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you
Yeah.
can tie in stuff like this without it having to be the background. So
Yeah.
like within this site, like they have images, we can include more of this beachy stuff within these images, within these boxes, but not as the overall background of the site. So
No,
that
I
could be
agree.
one way
I
to-
think maybe the background is too much. That after looking at them second, I like the white background, but the pictures are just there, like those little feet. You know, those are kids' feet, and it's like, are you ready to raise this child in this world? That's the thought behind the feet. And doesn't have to be the wave right there. The one wave with the guy right there, that's enough. That guy better be ready, because Pipeline is about 1 foot of water beneath where he is.
Is it really?
Yeah, to coral
Wow.
heads
Oh my gosh.
like that. I mean, that guy better be ready.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think images like that could be good to have on what we call the hero section, which is when somebody pulls
Yes.
up a website, it's everything above the fold, so it's what they see on their phone or their computer. We could have a slider with stuff like this taking up the full page just to set in kind of like what message you guys are really trying to send once people
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Hunter, Jay and I talked about doing a concept where, Jay's real good in front of the camera. I can show you some videos from the hotel, things like that. And his voice, he's got a good speaking voice. It basically shows well. We were talking about doing like a 1 minute looping video that explains what the mission is, what we're trying to do with the website. Would
Okay.
that
Yeah.
be something that would be valuable? Um,
for me or for people who are visiting the website.
Anybody? Yeah.
Okay. So if you're good in front of a camera and you could get yourself to get like a well-produced video where you're sharing like good information, I always think that's a good addition to like a nice website that we're going to be building. So yeah, if you can do a video like that, there is definitely like a lot of ways that we could tie that into the website and make it like a big centerpiece. Um, like if you guys make like a really epic video about your guys' overall mission with Are You Ready? That could be huge just for like uh for a lot of things, but also just for tying it into the website and then also driving traffic to the website. So like if
Well,
you have a
I
video
would
with
look for you. I would look for you, Hunter, when you kind of wrap your arms around this. Say, hey, Jay, I think you should do this in front of a camera. I think you should have this prop. I think you should address these issues. You have a vision statement on there, which I'll send you an update. But I'd actually like your guys' advice on what the video should look like. I mean, what
I
is
have
the
an
best
idea.
thing? Yeah.
I have a feeling that these images, right? Like what you're describing to me, like even your old website after you tell me what your core kind of the what Are You Ready means, even on this last website it has more impact because I actually know the overall like what this stands for, right? So
Yep.
if you're able to talk in front of a camera and then we could tie in stock footage of these moments of people jumping off of cliffs, doing like dirt bike stunts or whatever, surfing,
Yep.
all this stuff, that
Yep.
could be really good. And then also tie in some like inspirational music in the background. That would be great. And then also when we visit the website, it could be within like the first few moments, people scrolling down, we could have a nice video section where that is
Yep.
kind of like the main focus. But that's my take on
Mhm.
what would be great.
Yeah, I think I like the sound of that. And then, of course, as we gather other people that are more articulate than I am and more successful than I am, like Bob Goff or Brian Jennings, so we can build on that. But it's got to start with somebody. And basically, I'd be explaining the vision statement to them, and you could figure out how to dovetail those photos, something that would be super impactful. So yeah, almost like I would be up on, if I were to speak in a church, it would be like I'd be up on the stage. There'd be this background scrolling of these photographs that go to the issue of, holy moly, that person better be ready to do that. And I can be talking about just the concept of what are we getting ready for in life? What are we spending our time on? You with me?
Yeah, my vision was to do all this in a very short window due to attention spans that are ever shortening with people,
Like a
Like-
minute,
Yep.
like a minute or two,
The what?
like a minute or two.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a
something
minute
that.
or two, just like it's super condensed, hard
Yeah.
hitting message, no BS in the middle, just hard hitting and
Yeah, only the most important, most impactful stuff,
yeah,
and make it like as engaging as possible.
right,
I think that would be a good bet.
right.
But
Well,
yeah,
let
that's
me
a good
ask you
idea.
this, guys. Go ahead. Let me ask you this. I've got an attorney I have to be on the phone with in a little more than 10 minutes. Help me understand where we go from here. do you need any other essential information from me, Hunter, in order for you guys to gin up a proposal? But do you envision at some point in the near future that we're on the phone like this together and we're going through all the existing content and I'm telling you what stays and what goes?
Yeah.
But okay.
That will definitely, given like the current state of your website and then also just the way you want to do things, I would say that will be important for just being efficient and getting the job done. But like with
and
clients,
also Steve,
go ahead.
did you send Hunter the October 9th email where I summarized what I thought our links might look like and the important things that I thought would be there? Did you send him that
I did get that
email?
I did get that.
I believe I did.
Okay, perfect.
I got forward something, right?
Okay, good.
I may have, but I don't remember. But it was that, say, October, what was it? Jay?
October 9th.
9th. Okay, I'll forward that on to you, Hunter.
I think I got it, but
did I
send
send
it
it
again.
to you? Maybe I did.
I
don't know.
got forwarded. It could have been something else, but I got forwarded a message where somebody was describing for this project, like the specific details about what they wanted within the site. So that could have been
Maybe
something
I did.
less detailed, but I don't know.
Maybe I did, but I'll double back on it.
Yeah, we
sure.
could refresh on that.
But what I'm thinking is for the next, because I know our time is running short here. For the next meeting, here's what I'd like to envision. I'd like to envision that perhaps Hunter could show, could create like a page or something like a mock website, what it could look like, sort of like a high level view of what it could look like. And then we could go into the old original website and just 86, whatever we need to get rid of. And that's what I'm thinking here. So
I think the best way to do things is to kind of have the back and forth of like, you tell me, I create something that I think you want, and then you tell me if it's good or not, what to change on it, and then that constant back and forth. And I think when you do that, that's when you create like really cool like websites, stuff like that.
No, I think that's what I learned from the hotel, which was my best website learning experience, and it was like most collaborative things. It was an iterative process. So yeah, guys, I would like that. I'd like Hunter to kind of do what he thinks based on the conversation today, what he thinks I like or what he thinks it should be based on what he's heard me talk about. And let's have a go at it with a mock page or however you guys do it.
Yeah.
And then let's eliminate what I don't want and talk about adding what I think is important based on that October 9th email.
Good.
Okay.
So
all right. So
do you want to set something up for next week?
Whatever your timing is good. Whatever Hunter needs in terms of time. And I mean, I don't need to have this done anytime soon, but I want to start being methodical about it because I do want to get it redone and have the benefit of having you smart guys know how to tell me to drive people to it, because we do have I believe we have a company with a message. And I think the message is super important, especially these days where people are evaluating their lives and, gosh, what am I doing with this COVID thing? Life changed in 6 months. It could change tomorrow. What am I getting ready for? What do I want to do? So I think there's some messaging about this company that's extremely relevant right now. So I do want to continue with it, and I want to make it the best it can. So next week is let's go into the following week, Monday or Tuesday, the 9th or 10th. Do either of those work for you, and does that give you enough time, Hunter?
So do you want the prototype up by then, like something like a homepage with like a basic?
Well, if
structure?
however you and Steve think would be best for us to discuss it is what I'm interested in. I'm not dictating anything. Whatever you think is the best way to start the iterative process.
Well, I'll tell you this: the I Am Second website, like I've gone through it, pretty much like everything I've seen on the site is easily doable on my end with my like experience with the design and development of websites. So
Mhm.
that's done. So like whatever you're going for, it will be possible. But for as for like starting the project, I usually want to on my end like get like a good time frame that I want to start and finish the project by, and then
Mhm.
also like agree on a price point with the client and also a time frame for when you want to do that. And then after that is kind of set in stone and like we've both like signed a contract and you've paid like a deposit or whatever, then I usually go full stop and start on the project. So
With
however
the
you want to.
start being the start, and then the iterations, and then the end is here's the website in final up and running.
Exactly, exactly. So
Okay.
kind of like
Well, I just
the.
need you guys to talk about that, and I don't. The only step I know is the October 9th email, the songs that have to be uploaded, loaded. I need to give you a new vision statement. We've got to take stuff off. We've got to put it on. We've got an I Am Second website to mirror to some degree. So you tell me what your time frame, what you'd like to be. I don't want to work on it every day because I've got too many other things doing, but I just want to be methodical. So maybe we could have a goal of having it done by the end of the year. If I could start next year with a new website, that'd be good. Is that like too long or too short? What are you thinking?
Uh, I like to get things done like kind of within like a month time period. Like especially when it's a project of this scale. Like this isn't like a really big scale like enterprise website. I wouldn't categorize it as that. So I would say like I give myself a month from start to finish to get it done. But
Yep.
if you're okay with
Well, that's
that, I mean
not.
like that's kind of what we could shoot for.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, 4 to 6 weeks is fine. We get it done before the Christmas holidays. I bet if we were methodical, we could do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can
Um,
definitely do that. 100% do that.
so I just need to know what you guys are going to charge to make sure that I can allocate resources and time. Um, so do you guys want to talk about that and just give me a proposal and we can get this thing rocking and rolling?
Yeah, so me and Steve talked a little bit before this about like kind of like the range it'd be in. So after talking
Yep.
today, it seems pretty much exactly what I thought it would be before. And this a project like this would typically be like I'd say maybe like 6 to 8 grand. I'm assuming I Am Second would pay. But since you're a friend of Steve's and like it seems like you guys have known each other for a while and I'm friends with Steve as well. We're
But
thinking about
also,
doing
but
about.
also the mission, also the fact that this is a nonprofit and this is
Yeah,
an,
it's a non-profit, so it's like it's not like you're profiting like majorly off of the website, off of it being launched. So to that scale, I mean, what do you think about like 4 grand?
Uh, is that to go through the necessary discussions, develop the content, and then actually have a launch of something?
Yeah, yeah, that's like the fully
yeah.
finished website, kind of like at the I Am Second level of like to you know what I mean, right? So like the
Yeah.
full
That's
design
start.
and development
That's
of the
basically
website.
start research development to launch.
That's the whole product.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I so then, like for instance, just as an aside, um, uh, so the video that I slash we need to do I do that video and send it to you, or do you help me do it as part of what we're doing here? I know you'll end up once you leave the creation of the website, you're going to be there to help me
Yeah.
tweak it, stuff like that on an hourly basis, and I get all that and understand that. But like, will you be helping me come up with an idea for my video and stuff that you guys think is important?
Well, I'd love to. I personally wouldn't be filming or editing any sort of video because that's just not
Yep.
up my alley right now. But I would be more than happy to provide my take on what direction you could go into, and then also connect you with like the necessary people to make that happen. as well, because
Good.
it obviously is important for the site. But I do know
Yeah.
like video editors and people like that to get that done. But I don't know the
Good.
exact price point depending on
Let's
your
find out. Let's find out how much that is, because I had envisioned, silly me, I had envisioned Jay and I go down to the hotel with the iPhone stabilizer and just shoot him with the correct lighting. And just, that's obviously no charge. to
Well,
do that.
well, here's the thing too, guys. Is my son, besides being a very successful restaurateur, is also a professional photographer and movie producer. So
Oh,
he
that's great.
Michael can shoot the video, whatever. But you guys will give me the creative input of saying, Jay, I think if you do the video like this, you talk about this, and it has this in the background, I think this will have the most impact. Because
Yeah.
it's all
So
about
what we'll do, but
the impact.
I have
what
a
we will do, and I would take,
Go ahead.
ownership of that too, is create a storyboard, just like they would if they're shooting a movie or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
That could be great.
yeah,
I have
that's good. Well, listen,
yeah.
I've got to jump, but any last thoughts, Hunter?
All I was gonna say is I do have one video in mind that we might be able to draw inspiration from collectively.
Cool.
It is a marketing video, but I think it has a great structure to it that might be like kind of like parallel in some ways to your guys' mission with the
Well-
like kind of more extreme sport
Could-
type
could-
of
Could you
deal.
send that to Jay and copy me? Also, Hunter, could you send Jay a link to one of the websites you've developed start to finish?
yeah, I could
Yeah,
send
and just as kind of proof of concept, and
I
Yeah,
could
that'd
send a
be
whole
great.
list. I could send a whole list. I've done like country music artists. I'll send a list of sites and then you could kind of
just
take a look.
links he can click on. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I'll send a link to those.
Thanks. I really appreciate that. I'll look forward to that. And yeah, I have a feeling once your creative juices get flowing, you'll come up with some more ideas. But I really appreciate, Steve, you putting this together. Hunter, I look forward to working with you. And yeah, I'm excited. So send me the proposal, and then we'll set our next call when you're ready, okay?
You
All
got
right,
it.
sounds good, man.
All right, Jay.
All right, you guys, take care of yourself, and thanks again for your time. Sorry I have to jump.
Until
All
next
right.
time. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, bye, guys.
See you.
See you, Jay.
Here, I found the video. One second.
Okay, it's just you and me on the call right now. Yeah. Hey, Hunter, so I'm thinking if we can script, or I can do this. This is something I can do on my time, but maybe a storyboard with your input and just kind of sketch it out. And then just like maybe what to be showing in the background, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
then his Michael Sterling Eaton is his son. And that, or I believe it's a stepson who has that capability. And then it would be up to him. And then they would just deliver us a product that you can put into the website.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
This sounds like a pretty straightforward website. So I'm actually pretty excited to work on it.
Yeah, and he's not going to micromanage it very much, and I'll just continue to be the conduit between everything. So I think that's good. I think you positioned the pricing well, that it would be 68,000, but because he's a nonprofit, friends and all this, that's 4,000. That's good. You'd get 3, I'd get 1, and
Yeah, it sounds fair. I mean, it sounds like a fun project. Another like thing to put in the arsenal of like things I've done.
yeah,
So
because there's the worship once COVID's over, churches.
that could be another type of clientele, just through word of mouth or whatever. And who knows, like that if this site goes well, maybe there could be a niche for that type of website.
Right.
But no, Oh yeah, no, it sounds like a fun project. Do you want me to? Is he expecting a proposal, like a fully written out breakdown, or does he want
Well,
like?
he's an attorney. He wants something in writing. So
Okay,
I can go ahead and do it on my letterhead. I just need to know, like, the only thing I would need from you on that is the scope of work, what's going to be involved, you know?
yeah, kind of like line. What I usually do is line item type of like categorization of things on my website, and I just include that in the invoice, uh, through
If,
like.
if you could send that to me, and then I would build something and then send it back to you to see if you like it. And then
Mhm.
maybe like a hosting, like a
Yeah, like a
extra would
monthly.
be, anything extra is extra, you know?
I'll put hosting. I'll put managed hosting. That's what you call like site management is you just call it, and when it's tied in with the hosting fee, you call it managed hosting. So we'll
Mhm.
have that be like a fee that we describe it within the proposal, and then say that like there's a certain amount of hours that once I go past that on a monthly basis, then I charge hourly or something because he mentioned hourly pay, but
He was thinking, he had no clue. He was thinking in terms of the building of the website, but this is after
oh,
the,
I see.
you know,
Yeah,
if we have to do stuff, it's 100
yeah.
bucks an hour or something. So, you know,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Um,
Well, I'll email you just like what like on the services section of the agreement. I'll basically email you what to include right there.
that's perfect. And then I can put it on my letterhead, make it official, have a signature area and stuff. I'm going to stop recording here.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll get that to you. I'll